Welcome back to AutoStreet, the place where we take a deep dive into the cars you're really thinking about buying. Today we're looking at the 2026 Dacia Sandero, yes, that value-driven hatchback from Dacia that's always been about getting more car for your money. In this review we'll walk through how the Sandero has evolved for 2026, what its interior and exterior bring to the table, how it performs, and whether the price still makes it one of the best budget buys around. Starting with the exterior, the 2026 Sandero brings a noticeably fresher look compared to previous model years. Dacia hasn't reinvented the wheel, but they've smartly updated the front bumper, the LED lighting pattern and the grille to give the car a more confident road presence. The test mules spotted show a sleeker front end with new Y-shaped daytime running lights, and rear light clusters that appear to get a more premium signature. The side profile remains compact and practical, but you'll note this model rides slightly more purposely now, with sharper lines and alloy wheel designs that add a bit of flair. On the whole, it's still unmistakably a Sandero, but with an improved styling update that lifts it above basic budget hatchback in terms of appearance. Moving around to details, you'll find the Sandero still offers the elevated version called the Stepway for those who prefer a bit of crossover look, higher ride height, plastic cladding, roof bars, but for our standard review we'll focus primarily on the hatch version. The paint quality, the fit of panels, the lighting design, Dacia has made small but effective upgrades for 2026 which help give the car more up-to-date feel. Now let's step inside and talk interior and technology. One of the biggest changes for the 2026 Sandero is the upgrade in cabin materials and equipment level. Spy shots reveal a new steering wheel, borrowed from the larger Duster/Bigster models, and a large touchscreen dominating the center console. Higher trims are expected to offer a 10.1-inch infotainment system and maybe even a digital instrument cluster in place of the old analog gauges. Dacia's aim here is clear: bring more modern tech and nicer surfaces to a car that remains very affordable. In practical terms, the interior is roomy for its class, good headroom, decent rear legroom for a small hatchback, a sensible boot size, and smart storage solutions. For example, the Stepway version has modular roof bars and a full flat rear bench, clever for everyday use. Materials have been improved so the plastics feel less basic, your switchgear is tidier and the layout is more intuitive. Naturally, this is not luxury grade, but for the price you're getting far more than you might expect. The driving position, seat comfort, all of that has been refined. Technology-wise, you'll get at least smartphone integration, Apple CarPlay/Android Auto. In the higher trims, and Dacia has highlighted the upgrade in infotainment responsiveness and display size. Safety and driver assist features are also being improved, though exact specs will vary by market. And that's the key: Dacia's version of value means you might have to move up a trim to get all the premium bits, but the baseline remains strong. Now let's talk performance and driving experience. Under the bonnet, the 2026 Sandero continues to use efficient petrol engines, including the 1.0-liter, 3-cylinder turbo, and LPG, in some markets, powertrains. While major changes in core engine architecture aren't expected for all variants, the mid-cycle refresh allows Dacia to meet newer safety and emissions norms, and there are rumors of mild hybrid options being introduced. On the road you'll find the Sandero easy to drive, light steering, forgiving suspension over urban roads, manageable size in tight spots, and surprisingly composed for the segment. It's not built for blistering performance or sporty handling, but that's not the mission here. Instead, you get a real-world car that's practical, efficient, and low stress. Fuel economy is strong, again depending on engine and market, but one video estimates around 5.2 L/100 km in urban driving and 4.4 L/100 km on the highway in one variation. That kind of efficiency makes a big difference over time if you're using the car as a daily runabout. The ride comfort is decent, suspension globally tuned for comfort rather than sporty response, and road noise is reasonable though not class-leading. In summary, if you're after performance thrills you'll look elsewhere, but if you want a practical, economical car that does the job well then the 2026 Sandero makes sense. Finally, price and value, and this is where Dacia excels. The 2026 Sandero is still positioned as one of the most affordable new cars in many markets. For example, in Europe the starting price is expected to remain below €15,000, perhaps around €13,000 to €14,000 for entry-level versions. Of course, add extras, trim upgrades, and you can push toward higher figures, but the baseline remains very competitive in the hatchback class. the budget-conscious buyer will likely be very impressed. Given all the upgrades in tech, styling and equipment, getting that level of value in 2026 is noteworthy. In terms of pros and cons, on the plus side you're getting very good value, modernized design, decent interior for the price, economical running costs, and a sensible daily car. On the downside you're trading off dynamic flair and premium materials / slight luxe feel. If you want that, you'll pay more elsewhere. Also, depending on your region, the higher trims with full tech may cost considerably more, budget variants may still have thinner specs. So my verdict for AutoStreet, the 2026 Dacia Sandero remains a smart buy for anyone looking for an affordable new car that covers the basics very well and brings some modern style and tech into that budget segment. If you don't need exotic performance and you care more about smart spending, this hatchback deserves serious consideration. If you're watching this channel and thinking, should I buy a new car this year or save up for a premium model, the Sandero gives the new car feeling without breaking the bank. Thanks for tuning into AutoStreet. If you enjoyed this write-up, hit that like button, subscribe for more review content, and drop your comments. Would you consider the Sandero as your next car? What would you trade for a bit more cost? I'll see you next time for another car review. Safe driving!